Russian and Ukrainian officials are set to hold peace talks in Turkey, but the leaders of those countries are not expected to attend. The meeting was supposed to happen Thursday, but the head of the Russian delegation says talks have been pushed to Friday morning. Russian President Vladimir Putin declined to go. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he would only attend if Putin was present. President Trump is leaving the door open for a possible appearance, but told reporters he has less incentive if Putin isn't there.
Nothing's going to happen until Putin and I get together, okay? And obviously he wasn't going to go. He was going to go, but he thought I was going to go. He wasn't going if I wasn't there. And I don't believe anything's going to happen, whether you like it or not, until he and I get together.
Brian Taylor joins us now. He's the director of the Moynihan Institute of Global Affairs at Syracuse University. So can you get us into the strategy here of what each leader is doing and where this leaves us?
Sure. I think it's worth going back to about a week ago. At that point, the Trump administration had been pushing for a 30-day ceasefire. Ukraine had agreed to it, and the Europeans had agreed to it, and they were pushing Putin to agree to it. And at that point, he sort of changed the subject and said, let's go to negotiations in Turkey. And President Trump encouraged the Ukrainians to agree, so President Zelensky agreed. But I don't think Vladimir Putin really had any intention of ever showing up in Turkey. It was his attempt to change the narrative and to not be the one left taking the blame for not agreeing to the ceasefire. So it's a tactic on his part, but it wasn't an indication of a sincere desire to have detailed peace negotiations with the Ukrainians.
So are you expecting anything to come out of these talks in Turkey if they happen?
Not really. I mean, the two delegations on both sides are somewhat low level. There aren't the top officials there for the most part. It's possible they'll come to some technical agreements about some small issues. It may be that they can agree to another exchange of prisoners between the two sides, but I don't think they're going to make real progress either in bringing about a ceasefire or bringing the war closer to an end.
President Trump has expressed frustration on both sides and members of his administration, and he has said they're going to give up talks soon if progress isn't made. Do you get a sense that that's a tactic or a real threat? And if the U.S. does decide to retreat from negotiations, do you think that could happen soon?
Well, of course, as people will remember, President Trump originally had said he could solve this in 24 hours. We're well past 100 days at this point, and various administration officials have expressed a bit of frustration. I don't think we're really that much closer to a deal. The root problem here is that Putin doesn't want a deal. He wants victory, which to him means the subjugation of Ukraine. And the Ukrainians and President Zelensky want to maintain their independence and have some guarantees about their security going forward. So we're still very far apart. And I think the real question is, if the U.S. walks away, what does walk away mean? Does it mean that the U.S. stops providing military and intelligence assistance to Ukraine? Does it mean it tries to do a separate deal with Russia about lifting sanctions? Because if that's what walking away means, Putin will certainly welcome a U.S. walkaway that leaves them with no consequences and opens the door to a reversal of sanctions or other steps by the U.S.
Important point. Brian Taylor, thank you.